at Southwark Park Golf Club. This time of year is when all the new equipment floods in, so I thought maybe I should do some product reviews. Not really done much of this stuff before, and like all of us, we watch it on YouTube, and Rick Shields and all these other people demoing clubs, and I always wonder how impartial they are, or if they're a paid partnership. You can never really tell. So I've got the three latest things that I've got in the shop here, which is Stealth 2, so that's the new Stealth 2. We've got a new Cobra Aerojet and a Ping G430. So they're my three clubs. I've got them all in a regular flex, all in a 10.5 loft, and I'm going to hit a Strixon AD 333, so the ball is the same. Whenever the manufacturers show me their new clubs, I always sort of go, I'm not that bothered really, because what I do know is you wouldn't be bringing this to market unless it was the very best thing you could manage. Supercomputers, learned people, clubs from the past will lead you to your latest model, making that the best one really. I don't see why they would put a club out that wasn't as good as the previous model. So whatever clever things they've done with weight and moving about, like the new Stealth has more carbon, they've made the sweet spot bigger, which is probably what it needed. For me trying it last year, I felt that it was great out the middle and not so great off the off-centre hits, which is probably where most of us are, not always going to be hitting the button every time. So yeah, I'm going to hit one shot with each, tell you what I think, and then I'm just going to go away for half an hour and hit a load of balls and come back and see if there's anything that I think that stands out that's better or worse about them. So I'm going to have one hit each. Two of them I've only hit the Ping, so I haven't hit either of these. I've just had a couple of swings. So this is a Stealth 2, not the Plus version, 10.5 head, Ventus 5 regular, which is pretty much the shaft they've been using. So I always think that people think they want a fancy aftermarket shaft. This one is probably the one that works best in the head. That's why they put the two together. So maybe you should not get too fascinated by fancy shafts. So give this one a quick whack. Certainly felt nice. I like the way it sits at address. Some TaylorMade previous drivers are 255, right? That's probably ish about right. It's 10.5 regular. Previous versions of TaylorMade drivers always looked a bit shut, so I quite like the way this sits on the ground. All right, so far so good. I like that. So Cobra Aerojet, definitely. So this is what I've got in. This is what I've got. The previous model. So I've got a limited Cobra driver. I felt that just went the best last year. They've put a Mitsubishi Kali in here, another really top end shaft. So yeah, it feels fractionally shorter. Maybe is it shorter? It just feels it. Yeah. So maybe more controllable. This is half an inch shorter than that TaylorMade. Didn't feel too dissimilar. .267, so already a bit of a gain for me. It's quite an efficient swing, so when you get in your 50s, you're never going to be a massive hitter. It's all about finding fairways and being consistent, so that was pretty good. I hope we get something similar. My vibe out of what I've been told about the G430 is they've improved the sound. I know that sounds like a fairly trivial thing, but it did make a bit of a plinky sound, and some people didn't really like that. They've probably added some sort of dampener inside the head, but you get what you get from Ping. It's always consistent, always good. They've never ever made a bad drive. I think my favourite drive I ever had was a G400 Max. It was just to plod it down the fairway, but other stuff did go further. So. Yeah, it felt good actually. Another one that felt good. 268. All right, I'm gonna hit some balls. Enjoyed that. See you in a minute. Okay, so this is genuinely my honest opinion. I've got, I'd like you to buy one of these, but I'm not going to tell you one's amazing more than the other, because I think the ultimate thing is the fit. If we get the right shaft and the right loft, maybe these numbers start to change. But since my swing speed's very consistent, I think I can give these a fair test. Ping G430 makes a much better sound than it did before. It's absolutely fine, it goes lovely. I was pretty straight with it. It came in probably, I think I'm gonna have to say joint second with this Stealth, because there wasn't much in it. I hit really straight with both of them. I was quite impressed with this Stealth too, because the previous model was good, but I don't know, just sometimes it went a mile and then sometimes it didn't really seem to take off. So that's 100% an improvement. I mean, it's going to cost you, like all of them, to really appreciate what extra it can give you. When you look at this Cobra, it's the most inconspicuous of all the three. It's the least flashy looking probably, even though it has a big carbon crown, not unsimilar to the TaylorMade. It went further for me. Don't know why, just probably, I'll have to go and get my old Cobra driver and compare the two, see if there is any real worth me changing. It's a really good driver. Interestingly, it's the shortest of the three. I don't know that if I bought that Stealth, I'd be tempted to nip a bit off the end, I think, and gain the control. Whether you'd lose any distance is hard to tell. So yeah, these are all available for you to try. They're expensive, so I want you to try them with a view to being interested in a fitting. Really, it's not American Golf. I'm not going to go, there's your driver, give me the money. There will definitely, I'd like to have a fitting process around each one. Make sure I've got the loft and the shaft flex right. Shafts come in lots of weights and flexes, so that's the engine room of your club. If you get that wrong, then it doesn't matter how much you spend on that. So yeah, that's me channeling my inner Rick Shields. I think, and I've always thought this, right, that these manufacturers are on their game, these boys. They're not producing anything that's not going to really go. And the truth around COR and how fast that ball can come off the face is set in stone now. No one's going to come up with a driver and say this goes 50 yards further, because they would not be allowed to make it, because that would mean we'd be going back into COR problems again, where the face would spring back and release. So, and that's why clubs are going longer. So what we need to accept is probably there's nothing going to go a mile further. Can you gain height? Can you gain consistency? And number one for me, can you get this down on the ground behind the ball and think, yeah, I fancy that, I'm going to smash this down the middle? Then you've got the right driver for you. So yeah, thanks for watching, enjoyed that, and maybe I'll do some irons soon.